Chapter 11, 65, Yi Fan versus Bai Ning Bing, Translator, Atlas Studios, Editor, Atlas Studios. Huff. Fang Yuan looked at the black rotten ground in front of him as he let out a deep sigh. I have finally passed the fifth earthly calamity. Fang Yuan spent a lot of effort in dealing with the corrosive dark current, but he had He Fan's true inheritance. He did not have obvious weaknesses. After persevering for a while, he passed the tribulation. The terrain here had completely changed. He needed to spend a lot of effort to get it back to its previous condition. Thankfully, Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture was huge enough. This area in mini-western desert was originally barren to begin with. Fang Yuan's losses were minimal. In fact, he could even preserve this area and not modify it. Fortune and disaster were correlated. There were two sides of the same coin. This place could not cultivate normal crops, but it was now an extreme environment. Many types of special, fierce beasts and plants could live and grow here. Of course, there was heaven's will lingering here. Fang Yuan needed to use a lot of self-will goo to get rid of it. But it was a small matter. The important thing was, the fifth earthly calamity was over. Successfully returning to Langya blessed land, Fang Yuan concluded that even though the fifth earthly calamity was powerful, beyond the first four, it did not greatly surpass his expectations. There was one crucial reason why he passed it. Fang Yuan's strength had grown far quicker than the growth of the earthly calamity's power. It seems that earthly calamities themselves are no longer a problem. They can no longer stop me for now. The problem is human calamities. Fang Yuan thought about the fourth earthly calamity. The human calamity was too terrifying. He still felt a chill in his heart. That human calamity was terrifying. Even the immemorial rock dragon had appeared. Its might had greatly exceeded Fang Yuan's limits. Thanks to his bluffing, he evaded the danger and survived it. That means heaven's will is conjuring human calamities now, because earthly calamities can no longer kill me. Precisely so. Heaven's will is plotting and scheming to use human calamities to destroy me. In this tribulation, I did not encounter any human calamities. That is because I am a complete otherworldly demon. Heaven's will cannot decipher my plans, and because I move very quickly, it did not have enough time to construct a human calamity. Heaven's will was not a fake will. It could not have such an obvious influence, especially towards the higher cultivation level targets, or human goo immortals, having the highest intelligence. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan felt that he should not undergo tribulations at fixed locations. Constantly undergoing tribulation in the northern icy plain allowed heaven's will a chance to affect many goo immortals subconsciously. It nearly killed Fang Yuan. But this time I purposely chose Earth Trench because I wanted an Earth Path calamity, to increase the number of Earth Path Dao marks in my sovereign immortal aperture. In the end, it was a dark path, earthly calamity. Inside Earth, Trench, Earth Path, and Dark Path Dao marks were in the highest quantity. Fang Yuan successfully activated Immortal Tribulation, Tempering Aperture. The earthly calamity had to be from these two. But heaven's will did not want Fang Yuan to get what he wanted. Thus an Earth Path earthly calamity did not form. It was Dark Path instead. Fang Yuan used perceivable Dao immortal goo to inspect it. He realized that his Dark Path Dao marks had increased. They were very close to 10,000. Earlier, my Dark Path Dao mark foundation was very weak, but in this earthly calamity, I gained at least 9,000 Dao marks. I made quite some gains. Even though Fang Yuan's Dark Path attainment level was low, he had a Dark Path. Immortal Goo Dark Limit. This immortal goo was very useful to him. He could conceal himself from heaven's will's perception to an extent. Fairy Zhang Yu had once used this to conceal He Lulan's 10 extreme physique aura completely. For this tribulation, Fang Yuan only spent a few days. Over in He Fan Grotto Heaven, it was still at a deadlock. Chudu had rank 7 peak battle strength, while He Fan Grotto Heaven was heavily guarded by him. It was impregnable. However, Fang Yuan could tell that it was Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu who had the upper hand, even though he could not break through and was pushed back repeatedly. But Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu was merely attacking. He could attack or retreat. He could decide completely when he fought or left. Chudu could only defend using the Grotto Heaven. He did not know when Heavenly Lord Baizu would attack or what methods he would use. He was in a passive position. Chudu is bound to fail at this rate, but he is still far from reaching his limit. Fang Yuan mentally assessed the situation. He thought, if Chudu died in this battle, would he benefit or lose out from it? After consideration, Fang Yuan concluded, it was better for Chudu to be alive. There were several points. Firstly, Fang Yuan had invested heavily in Chudu. The first investment was the rank 7 immortal Gu Calamity Beckoning. If Chudu died, Calamity Beckoning would perish. Secondly, Chudu had an alliance agreement with him. He could not abandon him if he requested assistance. Thirdly, the calamities and tribulations were only going to get stronger from now. Chudu's Calamity Beckoning could help Fang Yuan divert a lot of the pressure. His existence was useful for Fang Yuan's development. Fourthly, if he helped Chudu defend Heifan Grotto Heaven, Fang Yuan would be able to relocate his storage pool using Heifan Grotto Heaven to produce heavenly crystals and hatch the upper extreme heavenly eagle once more. It seems that I need to take action and help against Heavenly Lord Baizu. Fang Yuan made his decision. However, he was not in a rush to act. Chudu could continue to suffer. He had just undergone tribulation. He needed to rest and restock his green grape immortal essence. This was a justifiable reason. It did not break the alliance agreement, even if Chudu knew he could not blame Fang Yuan. Southern border, Sun Crown Mountain. This mountain was green and lush. It had stood for a long time. During each sunrise, there would be a halo over the mountain peak, resembling a bright crown. Thus it was named Sun Crown Mountain. But now was nighttime. The bright moon was radiating over the entire mountain. Who else? Yifan stood arrogantly. His arms were crossed in front of his chest. He was standing on a huge rock. Opposite him, a group of Gu masters were shivering, hesitating. They were fearful of Yifan. Yifan, you were chased out by your clan. You are also a lone cultivator. We are also lone cultivators. Why are you making life hard for us? A Gu master spoke. Yifan sneered. Before we fought, all of you sought to overwhelm me with numbers. Why did you not say that? Also, are you considered lone cultivators? Dominating this mountain and plundering the surroundings? As Gu masters, you bully the weak and fear the strong. You slaughter and humiliate mortals. You are all vicious fiends. You are demonic cultivators. You are not lone cultivators. We are innocent. The ringleader and main culprit has already died at your hands. We were forced to comply. Also, ever since we submitted to Boss White Demon, we have stopped committing crimes. The Gu masters cried out. Yifan's expression eased. According to the intel he obtained, the situation was indeed like this. Ever since Bai Ning Bing took control of Sun Crown Mountain and Silent Flow Mountain, she had restrained the demons, taking them in, but did not give them any evil orders. If not for this, you would all be dead now. How could I let you live? Yifan snorted. He continued. I represent Shang Clan. I need to get through Sun Crown and Silent Flow Mountain. I will wait here, get White Demon to come and see me. Otherwise, tomorrow, I will slaughter everyone here. Yifan was very perceptive. He was not a rash brute. He knew that Silent Flow Mountain's defense was far stronger than Sun Crown Mountain. He came here alone. He could not take it down through force. Alerting the enemy and luring out White Demon was the best method. But the moment he said that, he heard an icy voice resound. No need to call them, because I am here already. Saying so, more than 10 figures appeared partway up the mountain. The demon saw this and cheered loudly. Boss White Demon! Boss White Demon has come to save us! Yifan watched with caution. He saw that all of the people who came were Gu masters. They were stronger than the ones on Sun Crown Mountain. Among them, there were many demonic path and lone cultivators. There were also several famous people with their own unique traits. But what truly attracted his attention was the woman at the center of them. This woman was dressed in white clothes. Her silvery hair was shiny, like a tassel. It extended to her waist. Her deep blue eyes were clear like a lake. They were calm and peaceful. Her skin was pale like snow. Her face was cold and aloof, but her unparalleled beauty could not be concealed. At this moment, she was lying down on a bamboo chair. She was relaxing, and her eyes were shut, like she was resting. There were 4 snowmen carrying her chair. Yefan's heart shook. He had roamed outside and seen many things. But in terms of appearance, Bai Ning Bing was simply a divine beauty. The only person comparable to her in looks was Shangshin Ci. Boss White Demon, we have tried our best to defend. We waited for you so desperately. You have finally arrived. At this time, a demonic path Gu Master tumbled and crawled towards Bai Ning Bing, calling out loudly as he showed a fawning expression. You who avoided the enemy and refused to fight deserve death. Bai Ning Bing opened her eyes slightly. Blue light flashed in her eyes as that kneeling Gu Master froze completely at the next moment. He was beyond dead. The demons were shocked. The few experts behind Bai Ning Bing shook. They recalled the terror when they had first met her. Ye Fan was also shocked before he burst into anger. His good first impression of Bai Ning Bing was completely gone. It was replaced with deep anger. As expected of a demon, you even kill your own men, Ye Fan shouted, jumping down the rock, staring at Bai Ning Bing angrily. Bai Ning Bing smiled lightly, stretching out her jade finger, pointing lightly at Ye Fan. At that moment, Ye Fan felt a cold sensation, covering his left leg. He looked down only to see that on his left leg, a huge piece of ice had instantly formed. What move is this? I had already used my defensive killer move, but it could not block it at all? Ye Fan was extremely shocked. All along, he had used these methods without fail, but now it had completely failed in front of Bai Ning Bing. What cultivation level does White Demon have? My methods were given to me by Lady Shang Qing, a Gu immortal. It was actually useless. Looking at her expression, she still has not put in all her effort. Will I die in this battle? Ye Fan's heart shook intensely. He had greatly underestimated Bai Ning Bing to think that their difference in strength was so huge. But after his shock, Ye Fan quickly calmed down. His battle intent surged in the face of despair.